Recently, I moved primary schools. I'm 10 years old and I'm sitting in my class and I'm drawing something in my book. And my teacher comes by. She looks down at my work. She picks it up. She looks at it for 1 minute and then she walks away with it. And I'm 10 years old and I'm sitting in the class wondering what she's gonna do with it. Until a few seconds go by and I see she's standing in front of the class holding my work up so the whole class can see. And everyone's amazed that they haven't seen me draw before since I'm new to the school. So everybody comes up at me asking me for advice. Everybody comes up at me praising me. Even the girls come up at me, they're praising me. And I'm just a little boy. And I'm happy that people are praising me in this new school, that people are actually liking me. 2 years later, I'm sitting in secondary school class, in art class, when my teacher hands out this massive white piece of paper. And I'm wondering what we're gonna do with it until I realized she handed it out to every single person. And I still realized this was a competition. So I look down at my sheet and an idea pops into my mind and I start taking action on it. But 1 hour later, I'm there with my ruler and my pencil drawing the art that I was doing until my teacher comes by and she looks down at my work, she tells me something, takes my work and walks away with it. And within a few seconds, she's standing in front of the whole class, showing everyone my art, saying it's amazing, saying it's one of the best things she's seen. And it was almost like what happened 2 years ago in my primary school, when my teacher picked up my book and showed it to the class, and when my teacher showed this massive drawing that I did. And what I realized from that story is that your self-image, so the way you see yourself and the kind of actions you take based on that identity or self-image, is built up through experiences in your past. For example, for me, my teacher always praised me and my classmates always praised me on my art. I always had that positive reinforcement that kept making me want to do art, to the point where 2 years later, I'm still doing art in secondary school. To be honest, I've lost interest in art now, but throughout those years, I was so good at it because of that positive reinforcement I had. Because if you were told you were a good drawer when you were little, you'll be way more likely to pursue art when you're older, because you have that evidence in the back of your mind that, oh, I'm a good drawer, so I can do it when I'm older. For example, let's say we did the opposite. We told you that you were a bad drawer, you were horrible, people were laughing at your drawing, and you'll be way less likely to take art when you're older, because you're going to think, oh, people laughed at me then, what is stopping them from laughing at me now? I'll tell you how this actually links to your goals in a minute, but what does it actually mean exactly for you? It means your self-image unconsciously influences your thoughts and therefore your actions and behaviors today. So the reason you might not be able to achieve your goals, so the reason you don't believe you can achieve your goals, so the reason you struggle to achieve your goals is something to do with your self-image, because some experience you had in your past, because something that's holding you back, something that's in your subconscious, because you're not thinking actively, oh, I remember when I was little, when I was 5 years old in that primary school class, people praised me. You're not thinking that. It's only your subconscious that's controlling your beliefs and actions today. Let's picture this guy. Let's call him Jack for this story. So let's say Jack, he believes he's a complete loser. He's in the back of his mind. Every single time he was in primary school races, he always came last. He was always slow. He never even tried because he thought, oh, well, I'm a loser. I'm not going to try anyway. So every single time, whenever he did a race, he would come last. So let's say today, he's got another race coming up, right? So he's going to race and with these other 4 guys. And they're all standing in the line, in the racetrack line. And the referee goes 3, 2, 1. And they start running off. They start sprinting off. Guess what? Jack is all the way at the back and ends up coming dead last. Now, he probably had the ability to not come dead last, but his beliefs are handicapping himself from achieving his fullest potential because he believes, oh, I'm not capable to win, so why do I even try? I'm not capable to win, so how am I gonna win if I don't even believe myself that I'm gonna win? And these thoughts are subconscious to his mind. He's not thinking this actively. It's all in the back of his mind, but it influences his thoughts and actions today in the present moment. So always picture your self-image almost like a machine that can only go forward and back. No matter how hard you try, this machine will always go forward and back. No matter how hard you try to move it left or right, it will always go forward and back because it's only designed to do that. And this is exactly in real life. Your thoughts and your self-image is only limiting you to only go forward and back. But to actually make meaningful progress, you need to be able to turn left and right. No matter how hard you try to turn left and right, you won't be able to do it. In real life, no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to rise above your self-image. So every single time you rise above it, you'll get pulled down. Every single time you're getting close to your goals, you get pulled down. And because of this, you're handicapping your success, just like the guy in the race. And something that popped into my head is that you always hear successful people talking about it's all in the mindset. You always see those stories of they're making tens of thousands in real estate, and then they go broke out of nowhere. The bubble pops or whatever. They lose everything, and then they regain it all back again. You've always heard those kind of rags to riches, those millionaire stories, right? They all tell you to own the beliefs, it's all in the mindset. But none of them really explained to you. I never understood really why people said that. I was like, I can always imagine, yeah, if you believe you're a winner, you can win, but how does that work? And this is why your beliefs and your experiences from the past are basically your mindsets. And these mindsets are basically either handicapping you, they're either serving you or they're not serving you. And this is exactly what they mean when they're talking about it's a winner mindset. It's all about your thoughts and your beliefs and therefore your actions. Just like the guy in the race, if he believes he's a loser, then obviously he's not going to try and obviously he's going to constantly keep losing. Imagine if he just magically was able to break that belief, just break the shackle in half. He's going to actually be able to shoot forward above these other guys because he probably has the ability to go fast. His ability level is probably up here, but he's only handicapping himself here because of his beliefs. You might be wondering, oh, well, how does this affect me? How is this really linking to me? There's not really any experiences I can think of that's blocking my success. But think about it this way. But what did you do when you were at school? You can almost imagine you're at school and you're just kind of messing around. You're looking around the class. You're looking at your friend making funny faces. You're looking at the girls over there talking. You're trying to focus on the teacher. You don't really care about the subject that much. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. What do? You're sitting there. And as soon as your teacher gives instructions, your brain turns on. You're like, okay, the teacher says, okay, solve these questions from this paragraph or solve these questions from what we just read. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to do that now. So you're looking up, okay, answer this. Okay, that question is this. You do that, right? You're subconsciously training your brain to take orders instead of giving yourself orders. Because think about it. Every single day, you went to school and you took orders. You say, don't do that. Do this. You get a reward if you do this. You don't get a reward to do this. Okay, do the work. You're always getting told to do the work. And that's why whenever you try to do the work on your own, whenever you're at home and you're trying to work on your business, whenever you're trying to work on your studies, whenever you want to be productive, you struggle. You struggle because you're so used to taking orders and taking action on that instead of giving internal orders and then taking action on them. So this it's handicapping your success. And this is something I still struggle with. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I still do procrastinate. But it's a shackle that you're going to have to break if you really want to unlock your fullest potential to be productive and to make progress with your productivity and these kinds of things. And if being productive is something you do struggle with and you do want help with, I do have a one-to-one mentorship. We do speak about self-image, about tactics that can launch your productivity up. Our sole goal is to 5x your productivity. I had to struggle for a whole year of me kind of struggling, trying new things. I remember back in my day when I was doing copywriting. Copywriting is basically when you write a sales script for a person, right? I was wondering why I wasn't getting any results. And it was because I wasn't doing any of the work. I'm not going to lie to you. And this is going to sound embarrassing. It took me 3 hours to do the work that should have taken me 30 minutes. And it took me 1 year to realize why I wasn't getting the results. So if you want to shortcut all that process and basically get all the answers within a month, you just click on the second link in the description and you can hop on a call with me to see if you'll be a good fit. We'll speak for a minute and we'll see if you're interested. So I'll be the second link in the description and I'll see you in that call. If you do still want to get closer advice from me, I have the first link in the description is a free community where we'll do accountability. You have like-minded men around you. We'll do free coaching calls. And if you're interested in achieving goals in business and making money online, in studies, in productivity, in self-improvement, then I believe it's probably one of the best things you can do. Give us a little sneak peek into the community so you can look at what's going on in there. So click on the first link in the description and I'll see you there. But interestingly enough, there is a way to change your self-image and break these shackles, these chains that are handicapping you from achieving your fullest potential. Let me ask you a question. What happens when you visualize and you really indulge in a sexual image? I know that sounds like a weird question, but just stick with me. What happens when you visualize a sexual image and you really like immerse in it and you kind of circle it around your mind? Your dick gets hard. You get stimulated because of it. And you didn't stimulate your PP in any way, shape, or form. But your mind reacted to what you saw in your mind. So why not visualize yourself being successful and therefore reenact your success? Because your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. And therefore you can start changing slowly but surely your self-image. You can almost even start to create your own experiences today to slowly start shifting your self-image. Because remember, your self-image is built from all these tiny experiences you've had in your past. So why not start to manipulate them and change them to be better for your future self? And this is called visualizations. For example, let's imagine this. Every single time you walked into a room, you were like a social butterfly. You would speak to everyone. You would be able to hold conversation. You have piercing eye contact. It was just, you always be able to socialize with anyone. You always get into small talk. You always socialize. You're almost like an extrovert. You just can't sit down and be alone. So you're just speaking to everyone, right? Would it be unlikely that next time you go to another room, would it be unlikely that you will speak to some other people there? Well, obviously you will. And that's because your brain has that evidence that, okay, I can speak to people. So therefore, I know I can speak to people. So therefore, I'm going to speak to people. Why not start to create these experiences in your mind through visualizations. And in a moment, I'll share with you a massive mistake that I made, and it was the reason why some people excel doing visualizations and why others visualize for one day and don't get any results. It's because of one crucial detail that I'll share with you in 1 minute. But here's what you need to do. Literally take 2 minutes, maybe in your morning routine, maybe before you're about to do your business work, studies, or before you're about to go to the gym, just maybe any time of the day, but just make it like a set time. So let's say always in your morning routine, always in before you're about to go to the gym, because then you're going to have to, let's say you usually go to the gym at 2 p.m. and you see it's 2 p.m. and you go, okay, I'm going to visualize for 2 minutes. And the next day you see it's 2 p.m. Okay, I'm going to visualize for 2 minutes. And what you want to do is just visualize the perfect scenario of what you want your life to be looking like. Maybe you visualize yourself waking up and you're all groggy. You don't really want to get up. You're tired. But yeah, you kind of take a cold shower. You discipline yourself to stay up. And you sit down to do some work, to do some studies. And your work actually feels fun. And you're tackling every single problem with ease. Before a social situation like school, party, work, meetups, whatever, imagine yourself you're there speaking to people, holding piercing eye contact. You almost see yourself people gathering around you. Maybe you're telling a story, you tell a funny joke and everybody's laughing. Imagine you see that in your mind every single time before you're about to walk into a social situation. You'd be way more likely to reenact that belief in your mind, because you're almost creating that evidence in the back of your mind that you're actually the person who can do this. The more you do this, the more evidence you give your brain that, for example, you're good at social situations. You keep visualizing. Maybe before you're about to go to school, in your morning routine, you see, okay, I'm very good at speaking. I speak to that girl, I speak to this guy. Oh yeah, everybody's looking at me in class. I'm telling a joke. Everybody's listening to me. Imagine you visualize that every single day. You're chipping away at your current self-image and building a new one every single time you do that. And it literally takes 2 minutes. Don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, do I need to do this? No. Just visualize yourself like your perfect day going perfectly, like your perfect social situation, your perfect work day, your perfect study day, whatever. Just your perfect workout. Just visualize that. Don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, do I need to do this? Oh, should I be 20 minutes, 5 minutes? Should it be 2 minutes? No. 2 minutes before you're about to work out, or in your morning routine, before you're about to go to school. Just pick one and do it. And the mistake that I made for so long, and it was a trick to actually excel using this strategy of visualizations, and why some people actually excel using visualizations and start changing the self-image, and why others visualize maybe 1 or 2 times and then just quit and get no results. And that's because you need to visualize vividly. Like I told you, your brain can't tell the difference between an imagination and a reality, but you still have to visualize vividly, like you're actually in the scenario. You need to visualize the sounds, the smells, the people, what you can hear, all the senses, what you can smell, what you can see, what you can hear. Visualize all these macro details, because then it's actually going to take your visualizations to the next level. Let's say you start visualizing and you're kind of visualizing that vaguely. You kind of see yourself working out. You kind of see yourself in a social situation. You need to visualize, for example, the sounds of everyone else talking. You need to see people standing around you. You need to smell the food around you. You need to visualize all these tiny details to really make your visualizations powerful. After hearing this message, you might think, oh, it's not important, I'm not going to do it. But it will change your life. Literally, at least try it for 2 minutes. Let's just sit down for 2 minutes and visualize your perfect day vividly. Just for 2 minutes, it will change your life. I know this. I've tried it for so long, and I can't emphasize how much it actually improved my life. I can't tell you how much more social, more work I've been able to do just by changing my self-image, just by visualizing myself, giving myself my own orders, visualizing myself being more social. I remember this one time I went to this meetup, and usually I'll probably be nervous around everyone. But because I took literally I took 2 minutes in the car as I was driving there, and it made my social skills go through the roof. It was great. I was holding piercing eye contact. I was speaking to people. I was making people laugh. And it was all down to the visualization I did that one day. So just do it, or else you would have just wasted 15 minutes of your time. The version of you who actually takes action on this will undeniably be better than the version of you who kind of just waste 15 minutes watching this video. The version of you actually takes action will be like, okay, he's going to visualize for 2 minutes today, 2 minutes tomorrow, 2 minutes the day after tomorrow. And he's going to slowly and surely start chipping away at his self-image. And he's going to actually be able to, remember the machine analogy I gave you of, you're only able to go forward and back. Slowly he's going to start being able to turn left and right. And slowly he's actually going to start making meaningful progress. He's going to start giving himself his own orders. He's going to actually have the self-image that he's social. He's actually going to have the self-image that he can do this, he can do that, he can attract girls, whatever you can literally do whatever you want. It's all in the mind. There is no limitations. That's the greatest part. There is no limitations. So do this quick visualization with me. Picture this. Imagine 1 month from now, you're the version of yourself who you wanted to be. The version of you who actually took the minute to visualize and actually started improving his life and his self-image because of it. Imagine 1 month from now, you wake up and you start working, and it's so easy for you to work. You're so productive. It feels amazing. Even though it's discipline, it's still hard. It's still a bit boring. You still discipline yourself to trot through. You're giving yourself your own internal orders instead of waiting for an authoritative figure to give you orders. In school, everybody's looking at you. Everybody's paying attention to you. You're telling great stories. People are laughing at your jokes. You're speaking to the girl over there. You're socializing. Everything's going amazing. If you do that visualization every single day, I guarantee it will change your life forever, as it has for me.